Oh, I think that's like the sun. Shut up. This girl hates her mom. What are they doing? Like, what are they doing? Hey. Oh, Luke coughed, so I bet he killed somebody. Literally, you're dying. You're dying because you're a moron, douchebag, asshole, jerk face, dick. But she just got hit in the head. And then they're like, we gotta board up the windows with a mattress. I'm supposed to remember them. I bet they're important. I felt nothing. Nothing. It didn't even cross my mind. All these men, all these cops. Jet got the shortest end of the stick for sure because she's dead. But Billy got a pretty short one too. I think that's gonna hinder me solving this mystery because I can't remember who anybody is. Okie dokie. So every single September/October reread A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. 1, 2, 3. We don't really talk about Killjoy. I feel like it's irrelevant. Read it once, not reading it again. That's okay. I reread A Good Girl's Guide to Murder every single fall. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite book series ever. I annotate it all up. I look at like notes literally everywhere. My covers, the hardback versions, have quotes, my favorite quotes I wrote on the covers. So I was about to pick up the books to do my reread for fall, and I'm like, wait a second. She has 3 other books. She has 3 other books that I have not read, and I think we need to fix that in this video because I love her writing, I love the characters, I love the story, literally everything about this series, and she has 3 other books that I haven't read and I must consume. In this video, I'm going to be reading all of Holly Jackson's books. I did want to preface this by saying I've decided to not reread A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. We know it's good. I love it so much, but I want to focus on the 3 other books that she made. This is going to be a spoiler edition, starting with 5 Survive, which I believe is the first book she published after A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is about Red, and her 5 friends are going on an RV road trip, and something happens. So we have Red, then we have her best friend's brother, her best friend's brother's girlfriend, and then the guy that owns the RV, which is their friend, and then another guy that Red has a crush on, I think. And they all go on a road trip for spring break to Florida, driving an RV. The RV breaks down, and that's all I know about this book. I'm so excited. Like, you don't understand. I am so excited. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get to reading because I have a lot of reading to do. Okay, so I'm like 50 pages in. We have a flat tire. Oliver is a douchebag. I kind of feel like he can't be, like, is there a killer or somebody died? I like literally have no clue what happens, but I know he's a douchebag. I do know that. And Red is poor and her mom's dead is what I've gathered. I like Arthur. Yeah, like Arthur so far. And I like the pacing and kind of how it's broken down. Love a good, literally anything, like when there's just charts, diagrams, little tidbits that are a little bit different to just like show you some kind of inside scoop situations. I also like how it's broken down into times. That's really interesting. Also, Red and I have a lot of similarities, like worrying, the overuse of list making, and the way that she thinks is a lot of the way that I think. I would never go out into the woods pitch black in the middle of the night and go pee by myself. That just, like, why would you do that? That's low-key kind of stupid, girl. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What is going on? Is it gone? There's like a haze over here. Whatever. Oh, I think that's like the sun. I'm on page 140. I'm back. I had to go do some stuff, so I was sitting in the car waiting to pick someone up, reading. I'm on page 140. This is like a horror, thriller, murder movie with comedic relief. The type that you're sitting there, you're like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, and then they do it. Or you're like, literally, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing? Do they not realize the situation that they're in? And then, like, it's just, like, so funny. Because they're, like, in a thriller movie is basically what's happening. And they're just comedic relief. Like, it's just hilarious. This book is so funny. Like everybody else, but Oliver, literally you're dying because you're a moron, douchebag, asshole, jerk face, dick. You just are, okay? You're dying. You gotta be. Everybody else is too nice for you to die. We've got like all the different characters going and I'm having a good time. But kind of like nothing is happening. But it's like one of those movies. Great. And then they're like, we gotta board up the windows with the mattress. The guy's like taking a bathroom break. I'm not even trying to figure it out. It's one of those books where I'm like, I don't think I really want to try and figure it out, because sometimes when I figure it out, it ruins it. And I'm like, I don't want this to be ruined. So I love Red. I love Arthur. I love Simon. I like Maddie. What's the girlfriend's name? I don't even remember. She's fine. I feel bad for her because she's dating Simon. Simon? No. Oliver. I can't even get their names right. She's dating Oliver, and Oliver, we know how I feel about Oliver. I literally just told you how I feel about Oliver, and that was me being nice. So just know they're worse up in my head. They are so unserious about this. They're like shouting and clapping and screaming at each other and like, what is going on? What is going on? Their plans suck. Let me tell you, their plans, you're just like, what are you doing? I don't want it to be, but it's Arthur, isn't it? Arthur's the one with the secret, because Oliver's a douche. He's just an asshole. He's not the problem in this situation. He doesn't have the secret. He's just a big jerk. And then Simon is too drunk, and he's kind of like the comedic relief. Maddie's just naive and sweet. It can't be Red. It's not going to be Red. And then, what is the girlfriend's name? I can't remember her name. But she has a shitty boyfriend, so it's not going to be her either. It's going to be Arthur, isn't it? I don't want it to be Arthur. But it's going to be Arthur. I just have a feeling. And also, one of them dies. I think Oliver's going to die. I think his douchery is going to kill him. And I think Arthur's the secret, or has the secret, and Cooper. Why do I keep calling him Cooper? What's his name? The brother. Whatever. The brother's going to die. Cooper. No, what is his name? Oh my gosh. Oliver is a moron. He is a moron. His douchiness is bothering me so much. He's a moron. Like, every single time something happens, I'm like, no duh. No duh. No duh. No duh. No duh. And you... shut up. Someone else needs to be in charge. He is causing a lot of problems right now, and I don't want to hear one more word come out of his freaking mouth. Maybe, I don't know, maybe just me, but instead of trying to make a human out of a closet door, a mop broken in half, and an inflatable balloon beach ball, maybe we should figure out what the secret is. I don't know. The cheating thing, it makes sense. Like, I can see how that's a plot. I hate cheating. I hate cheating, regardless of any context. I hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. But also Oliver. But also cheating, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on 265. I'm getting very impatient, okay? What the f is going on? What is going on? Can something happen? Like, I'm getting impatient. It's losing me. You're losing me a little bit. You're losing me a little bit. Come on. Something better happen in the next 5 pages, or like, I'm getting bored. Come on. This asshole. I finished it. Cool. So, I finished 5 Survive last night. I cried over that letter. I did, if I'm being honest. I cried over that letter. It just got me. I'm deciding between a 4 and a 5 star because there's 1.5 things that would make it a 4, not a 5. One being the middle, because it wasn't slow paced at all. I mean, this was set over the course of what, 8 hours? So it wasn't slow pacing. I just was kind of like, come on, like, you're losing me a little bit. Can we do something about that? And then the ending, I loved the ending, but I also hated the ending. Like, I wanted more, but I also understand that's why, like, it ended the way that it ended. I don't know. I wanted more. I'm glad Maddie's okay. but she has no family now. She has a dad. The dad's alive, right? I don't even know. She has a dad. What's going on with Simon and the girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, and Arthur and Rhett, like all of them. I want more. Can we get like a little novella? And it's like a year later or something. I low-key wish Cooper didn't die. I get why he did, but I feel like he needed to face, I mean, he died, so he did face consequences for his actions. I don't know. Also, his name is not Cooper. I kept calling him Cooper. What even is his name? I don't know why I can't remember these people's names. Oliver. Who is Cooper? Well, some Cooper has done me wrong and I just can't think of who. Do I want to give it a 4 or a 5? I don't know. What do I want to do? It's so good. Perfect little spooky book. Thriller, suspense, comedy, humor, mystery, murder, all the things. Also, when I was driving home yesterday from the bookstore, I saw an RV that is exactly what I was picturing, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit. I was like, oh. Next, I'm going to read The Reappearance of Rachel Price because I'm going to read them in publishing order. Okay, I'm like 60 pages in, and I guess I know the beginning of the plot. So basically, we have this girl named, what's her name? Belle, who is the daughter of Rachel Price, and Rachel Price disappeared when Belle was just under 2 years old, and she's 18, and this British dude is making a documentary on the disappearance of Rachel Price. So we've got Belle, her dad, her uncle and aunt, her cousin, and then her grandfather, pretty much, are all in the documentary, and they're kind of just like how a documentary would go. They're talking about it, reenacting scenes, asking questions, watching old videos, all of those things. We also have Ash, who is this like quirky dude. He's the camera assistant, so we've got him. I'm assuming she's going to solve the mystery, but we're nowhere near that. We're just literally, it's almost like we're literally just watching them, or seeing them film a documentary and the behind the scenes of filming a documentary. So I'm a little bored. I mean, I'm 70 pages in and basically nothing has happened. We're just getting some background information, which is fine. Can we pick it up a little bit? The Sherry, which is her aunt, and Charlie, which is her dad, are having the weirdest interactions. I don't know, just like their family in general is very weird interactions, and I don't know if that's because they're uncomfortable or there's more to the story. The family dynamic is just off. So she steals things because she has trust issues and is bitter, and like there's a reason, but she steals things is what I've gathered from just little context clues. Belle is just a very bitter, angry teenager so far. When is Rachel Price coming back? I'm assuming she reappears because it's the reappearance, unless that's not the case. Okay, not me literally needing to read one more page to see that it is Rachel Price reappeared. I was just jumped the gun a little bit. Literally read one page. She's reappeared. I think I'm having an allergic reaction or something. I've sneezed like, what is that? A clock? I've sneezed like 20 times in the past 12 minutes. Did they husband swap? Are like the kids' parents not the kids' parents? Are they different? Because why are they acting so freaking weird? Like, I get it's been 16 years. But also, the aunt and the uncle are acting so sus. Something's going on. Okay, there's no way she wore the same top for 16 years. No way. Even Allison De Laurentiis didn't wear the same outfit for however long she was gone. 16 years, and also she would be stinky. She would be rotting. Whatever. Hi. Do you want up here? Do you get on the bed? Do you get on bed? Oh, you do. You do. You do. Okay. Hi. Whenever, like the first day I'm in people's houses, I get scared to speak out loud. Anyway, I'm 50% or like 55% in. And why? This girl hates her mom. This girl hates her freaking mom. Hates her. She calls her Rachel. She immediately was like, she's lying. She was not kidnapped. She did not disappear. She did not reappear. She's lying. She's like immediately hating on her mom. I love an FMC that's headstrong, not afraid to speak her mind, and very much like Belle is. But there's also a fine line where, like, in my opinion, Belle is just annoying and rude and disrespectful and hateful. And I get she's been through some traumatizing things, like that's an explanation, but it's not an excuse. Like, she's just rude to everyone. And I don't know, her sarcasm is too far, in my opinion. It's just too much. Overall, she's boring. She's a very boring character. So far I'm like over 50% in, so I feel like I should know her character by now. I'm bored. She's a boring character. I'm not attached to literally anybody, so I'm just reading this and I'm bored with the book so far because I don't care. I do not care about any of the characters, what happens. I'm not hooked to literally anything. Like, I don't care if she is faking about disappearing, or if, like, there's this family drama. I kind of feel like the dad did something, or the grandpa did something and he's going to spill because he has dementia and just like is saying things, or what is going on. Like, they just have a messy family is what is seeming to have been going on. Maybe I'll care in the next 20%, but it's long. It's dragging on. Feels like nothing has happened. And like, yeah, a lot has happened, but also it's just dragging. I need something to happen. Like, the dad has disappeared. I don't really care. I don't care. We're just trading parents at this point. Like, mom comes back, dad goes. She's only allowed to have one parent at a time, I guess. Hey. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I finished. And I have some thoughts on the last like 100 pages, I guess. I think the thing that I didn't like, because Holly Jackson's books, I've read 5 of them now, are really good, and they are YA, but they're the type of YA that really almost crosses that line. There's 2 different kinds of YAs that are young adult, and YAs that are they just don't go all the way that a regular book would, like a non-YA, just a plain mystery thriller or whatever would, but it tiptoes on that line. And this book just felt a lot more YA than her previous ones that I've read. I think it's just the over-explaining, and the writing was a little bit different. It just felt more young adult, if that makes sense. I don't know, just the whole time I was just not in it, was not feeling the story, was not believing the story. And I would have liked her to explore the whole, like, I understand Rachel and Charlie and their relationship was strained and not the best, and he was like not the best, but we went from him being like, you left the door open, to her thinking that he was going to kill her. Now, he was, but I wish we saw steps leading up to that a little bit more. Like, it just felt so straight to killing. Like, we went from 0 to 875. It just, I don't know. I would have liked Holly Jackson to explore and discuss that more, because why were we going straight to killing? How do you move on from that? Rachel and Carter and Belle, how do you continue your life after that? How do you move on? It was okay, but I don't know. Something about it was not feeling it. The whole book note situation, if I am reading a book and there's like something strange about the text, I notice it immediately. So I don't understand. I guess she wasn't looking for it, but wouldn't in your mind you see like, oh, that's like, that letter looks different. I always notice things like that. So that just felt, especially if she loved to read, I feel like she would have noticed things like that. I don't know. I would have liked them to explore her stealing, how she stole stuff a little bit more. That was kind of random. I understood it built her character, but could we have discussed it a little more? Also, that kiss, I felt nothing. Okay, her and Ash, I thought there was zero chemistry at all. I did not, it wasn't even in my mind to think to put them together at all. I felt nothing. Like Ravi and Pip, there was a lot happening there, and you could really feel it, and I was sad about how their relationship ended, but also hopeful, because in my mind, like, they're good now. But I felt nothing. It didn't even cross my mind for them to be together. I did like the little last, like, I don't know, 20 pages, how it was the mom and the two daughters, and they figured it out together and work together, and they're like a team now, and they're this little happy family. I feel like that would not be how it happened in real life, but it was a sweet little moment that Rachel finally got to be the mother of her two daughters, and the two daughters finally got a mother. It was very sweet. Overall, it was okay. It wasn't bad. It was quite slow. The pacing was very slow. I feel like a lot of it could have either gotten taken out or written in a different way. It just wasn't my favorite. As I said before, I didn't love Belle. I didn't really like anybody, if I'm being honest. Any of the characters. I liked Carter, I guess, was the only character I actually enjoyed reading about. But other than that, I wasn't rooting for anybody. I wasn't on the edge of my seat. I did read it in one day, but that's just because what I was doing today. It was okay. I think I would give this 2.5 stars, maybe. Definitely not the worst book I've ever read at all. And the twists and turns were interesting, but I think overall I just didn't care enough for me to care what happened. I wasn't invested in the story, so it was okay. Okay. Are you gonna sit down somewhere or just stand there? Okay. Oh, right there. Right there. Okay, so it's the next day, and upon further investigation, aka reading chapter 1 and then Googling it, this is not a YA. So this is her first book that's not YA, and I'm actually really excited about that, because in my opinion, The Reappearance of Rachel Price, specifically, a little bit 5 Survive, not as much. This one for sure. It felt so juvenile. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder was definitely teetering on that line. It really was. And it's like Holly Jackson lost that, and The Reappearance of Rachel Price felt very YA, very juvenile. So I'm excited that this is not a YA. I was thinking about what I liked and what I didn't like about the past 2 books, and I hate to compare it to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but I kind of just am, because it's the same author, it's the same type of story, same genre. Like, there's a lot of similarities forming here. I think my thing about Red and Belle, specifically Belle, read a little bit, they're just not Pippa. Pippa, is that her name? Pip. I think that's her name. Why am I blanking on her name? Yeah, that's her name. Pip is a likable character, even though sometimes she seems like she would be an unlikable character and you are rooting for her. She's also actively trying to solve the mystery, and she's not stupid. I feel like Red and Belle are too quirky. They're too much like, I'm not like other girls, and I feel like Holly Jackson was, it seems, trying too hard to make them unique to the point where they were kind of boring. They were just bland characters because they were quirky, but in my opinion, they just were kind of boring. I get the whole like not like other girls or whatever, but it just made them. Red, she was a likable character in my opinion, but she was boring, and Belle was an unlikable character. So I really hope that in Not Quite Dead Yet, that Jet, who is the main character, is not like that. Pip was quirky and unique and very much herself, and stood up for herself, and a powerful a strong FMC, but she wasn't unlikable, and I think that's the problem with the past two. They're either boring or unlikable or both. My other qualm with actually both Five Survive and The Reappearance of Rachel Price was the pacing. The pacing was just so slow and it dragged out, and the middle kind of lost me for both the books, and I really hope that this doesn't. It's about the same size as The Reappearance of Rachel Price, so I really hope the pacing is a little bit better. Also, in both Five Survive and The Reappearance of Rachel Price, I didn't really care about any of the characters, which one of the books I liked, one of the books I didn't, so sometimes it doesn't matter, sometimes it does. I think it just depends on the story, but the characters, in my opinion, a lot of them were very emotionless. They were emotionless characters, so I didn't really connect with them, so I didn't care what happened to them. In Five Survive, that was fine. Five Survive, the characters were fine. The story was very intriguing, and I really enjoyed the writing, so it worked. Whereas The Reappearance of Rachel Price, didn't like the characters, didn't like the story, didn't like the writing, so it didn't work. And I really hope that this being an adult book, we're kind of going back to that Good Girl's Guide to Murder type of writing and the love of the characters. Also, both honestly, but more so again in The Reappearance of Rachel Price, it was such an unbelievable story, and how it unfolded and how it ended just felt so unbelievable. And I get these are fiction books, but there has to be a sense of reality in there to keep you hooked and wanting to read, because if it just feels so outlandish, then it just is so unbelievable that it's like, no, that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. And the ending of The Reappearance of Rachel Price, there were just so many things that happened that I was like, that just seems so unbelievable. Like, the mom was trapped for 16 years and she's literally fine, and just so many things. I could go on and on about the amount of things that were like, I didn't like that because that was unbelievable, blah 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 blah. Like, it just too many times. Five Survive, I think because it was in a short time span, it was only 8 hours, it worked. But this one, I think to sum this book up, is page 182, this quote, "To the most fucked up family in America." That's pretty much it. Like, they're so messed up. So basically we have this girl, her name is Jet, and she is 27. She's a law school dropout who's living with her parents, and her dad owns this company. Like, they build houses and they're very rich, and she is like the family disappointment, I guess. Her brother works for the company and has a wife and a baby. The wife used to be her best friend, and she's just kind of the family disappointment. The two siblings, they've had one interaction. They're being mean to each other, not in a sibling type of way, in like a, I just feel like being an asshole to you type of way. And I hope that doesn't continue, because I really don't like that. I don't like it. But she just got hit in the head. So, and it's 2 days later, and she's in the hospital, I think. I don't know, I haven't read anything past chapter 1. Okay, I just walked home, so I'm out of breath. My asthma has been it's just terrible right now. So, literally out of breath. Anyway, I've read like 70 pages. There are so many side characters. I'm supposed to remember them. I bet they're important. I cannot tell you who is who. I don't know. All these men, all these cops, like, I just don't know. And I think that's gonna hinder me solving this mystery because I can't remember who anybody is. Also, it still feels like YA. I don't see any difference for this being an adult book versus a YA. It still feels very YA. 3 more things. 1, Luke coughed, so I bet he killed somebody, because in the last book, every single time someone coughed, I'm like, that's weird. And they coughed when they were lying, or they coughed when they were lying about killing somebody. So I feel like either Luke is just lying about something, or he killed somebody and he's lying about it. So like, either way, he's definitely lying about something because he just coughed. It's a little sus. They better not kill this freaking dog. I will not be able to handle it. That was one of the worst parts of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. If they kill this dog, I don't know if I'll ever read a Holly Jackson book ever again. And I'm being serious, because no. No, no. I'm assuming these are her brains. This frog has something to do with it. She was probably killed with a shovel. Halloween. But what is that? What is that? What? I don't think I want to know what that is. And I probably am going to find out because every single other part of this seems important, but what is that? The boot? I mean, he was probably wearing boots, killed by a shovel. Halloween, something, the frog has something to do with something. The brains, but like, did we see that? Whenever I listen about things happening to people, it makes like, whatever is going on with them, that part of my body hurts. So like my brain is like, right now, them explaining about what's going on with her brain, I'm like, and what is this? I think this means something. 7. They did the tick marks in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder too, in the last book. I don't know, seems important. Saying fuck every other page doesn't actually change it from a YA to an adult book, but I think that's the only difference in the book so far, in terms of the writing, for the rating of the book. It's 9:45. I've convinced myself I can finish this book tonight. Do we see that? I'm on page 136. There are like 400 pages in this book, and it's 9:46. So, like, be so fucking for real right now, you know what I'm saying? But like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, I can finish this. In reality, am I even going to read one more chapter? I'm already tired. Like, this isn't going very well. What's up, girl? Is it a waste of time if I love every minute? Damn. Also, I kind of feel like I'm like Jet. I like her now. She's witty and sarcastic, and I get her sarcasm and her humor, and the fact that she's talked about how she's never found her thing, what she's good at, and she's looked a lot and just feels like a big disappointment, and just keeps trying and trying, and like, doesn't work out. So all these Emilys are really haunting the narrative, like Emily Laughlin from the Inheritance games, Emily whatever her last name is, Manson, the sister. They're haunting the narratives. So would it be too coincidental if they were trying to kill the dad so that the son could own the company, and then they found out about him not selling it because he has 2 kids and equality or fairness or whatever, and so they decide to kill her instead? I think Sophia did it, but I'm also exhausted, so I could be wrong. I finished it. I did not finish it last night, but I did finish it this morning. I guess this is like the 7 days she has left, and this is her dead on the 7th day. I don't know. Overall, poor Billy, really. Do you want up here? Poor Billy. He really got the short end of the stick. He has no mother, he has no father, he has no brother, he has no girlfriend. Yeah, that letter, first of all, his mom leaving at first was a really lame excuse, but I get it now, like when they fully explained it, but originally it was like very unbelievable. I get it now, but poor Billy. Really, it's like Billy, I mean, Jet got the shortest end of the stick for sure because she's dead, but Billy got a pretty short one too. Also, I almost cried over the dog's letter. Did not cry over anything else, but like my tears, my eyeballs were getting wet from the dog's letter that was literally 2 lines. Holly Jackson needs to quit involving dogs in books, please and thank you. No. But Billy's letter, I, like, if that were me and I was in that situation, I literally would never, I don't know, not think about it. It just, like, is so, what if we had more time? What if this? What if that? And, like, I don't know if that was the best choice of a letter to give him. I don't know. I don't know. Poor Jet, obviously. I liked her. But poor Billy, just... poor Billy. We kind of are starting to have these recurring themes and characters now, at least in Holly Jackson's most recent, every book that I read. Every single time it was apparent. There are a lot of similar characters happening here, like they fall into the different roles, almost like a play. And why is it always the parent? Now if she makes another book, I'm like, immediately I'm thinking like, is it going to be the parent? It's always the parent. I would say 3 out of 5 stars. It was definitely better than the reappearance of Rachel Price, not better than 5 Survive in my opinion. It was okay. It would like, I would get bored and then it'd pull me back in, and then I would get bored and then it would pull me back in, just back and forth and back and forth. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't super invested once again. Similar to the reappearance of Rachel Price, I didn't really care. I just didn't. I don't know if that's just how I'm feeling now, or I would give it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was good, a good read, just wasn't my favorite. I probably will never think about it again, but I had a good time reading it. We have the reappearance of Rachel Price was a 2-star. This one, which is Not Quite Dead Yet, 3-star, and then I've decided 5 Survive. I've settled on a 4-star, and then A Girl's Guide to Murder, that series is a 5-star. So really all across the board here. This was not an adult book. It was still YA. I don't even understand why it can't be categorized as YA. I don't know. That's also part of it. Jet and all the, like, the characters, they could have been 17 instead of 27, and literally nothing would have changed at all. Not a single part of the book would change if she was 17. And honestly, it would make more sense if she was 17 by the way she talked and reacted, and just the way she presented herself kind of gave more like 17-year-old than 27-year-old. But I had a good time doing this though, because I really have wanted to read all of her books and I just haven't. So now I have. Can she come out with another one so we can read that too? If you've read any of these books, even A Good Girl's Guide to Murder too, that's a 5-star series for me, then what are your thoughts? Because I want to hear them. I feel like there's more I wanted to talk about, but that's just my immediate thoughts on all of these books. I hope you have the best day ever and your coffee tastes like magic. Bye.